Hello, book fans. Robin here, back in the book garden with you again. Got my May reads here, as usual. Too many books. I did really well last month. I read 7. I only have 1 off the list that I didn't read, so that's sort of spiraled over to this month. This month I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, seeing as 7 was the best I've read for a long time, I think 10 again is going to be overly ambitious. That said, 4 or 5 of them are children's books, so maybe I can hammer those out quite quickly and read them. So here's the pile. Oh, nice and big. Let's run through them. I'll do the children's at the end. If you want to skip through to the children's, do use that. I've got to put the chapter headings in as usual. So what have I got? So the book, I've actually only got 1 book on here that's a grown-up book I've been sent. And I've been sent Cixin Liu's A View from the Stars. Quite slender, so handy for getting through those 10 books. This is a book of short stories by the author of The 3-Body Problem. If you've watched my April video, you will know that I really, really enjoyed The 3-Body Problem. I really was impressed. It was far better than I actually expected it to be. So I'm really looking forward to checking out these little short stories. It shouldn't take very long. So I don't know very much about them. Can't wait to check them out. So next up, I'm going to do my book club choice, which this month is going to be the Whalebone Theatre. Now, a chunky book club people, not overly impressed with that. How's that going to get me through my 10 books? This got over 500 pages. I shall have to see what I can do. This wouldn't have been my first choice for a book. I kind of decided I didn't really want to read it. But the book club is a democracy, not a dictatorship. So, and they're very indulgent. They do let me choose a lot of books. So I will read this and hopefully I will enjoy it. I mean, I've enjoyed last month's book club choice very much. I don't even always enjoy my own choices for book club book. So hopefully I'll enjoy this one. The Whalebone Theatre, I think it's a bit of a saga, but I'm looking forward to reading it. Check it out, see what it's like. A book I am really looking forward to reading, and that is Francis Spufford's Cahokia Jazz, which is a kind of speculative alternate universe crime novel about a world where the Native Americans didn't die out, and so you've got, it's 1920s, it's in this place called Cahokia, which I didn't realise. Well, I read another book which kind of had bits of it set in Cahokia, which was a big city in the US, sort of pre the arrival of the Columbus, and it was a thriving civilization. Of course, obviously it then died out. This is that didn't die out, and that city is still going. So there's kind of speakeasies in Cahokia. It's a murder mystery. It's by Francis Spufford, and that's the main reason why I wanted to read it, because I haven't actually read Golden Hill. It says author of Golden Hill up here, which I think was really popular. But he wrote a book called The Light Perpetual, which I absolutely loved. It's a mosaic novel with lots of different characters in it, and that's speculative too. It's about some people who were in a school in London and they get hit by a doodle bug in the war, and they're all killed. And it's kind of imagination of what happened if they weren't killed, what would happen to their lives. And it's just so beautifully written. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Francis Spufford also has written a non-official book set in Narnia, which he's only made 50 copies of, and you can't get it for love nor money because there's only 50 copies of it, and it hasn't been sanctioned by the C.S. Lewis estate. So it may never ever see the light of day, but I'd love to read that. But in the meantime, I'm going to read Cahokia Jazz. Can't wait to check that out. Again, not a small book, but we'll have to see what we can do. Also not a small book, and been everywhere in fantasy circles in the last month, the last 6 months, is the Waterstones book of the month this month, and I'll have to say, I'm really looking forward to it. It's Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I could be being proper sexist here, but it looks a bit like a romantasy, I'm not really going to enjoy it type thing, but I set out on this quest to read their book of the month each month, and I'm going to do it. So I'm going to try and read this. We'll see whether I enjoy it. I mean, a lot of people have enjoyed this, so it doesn't really matter whether I enjoy it or not. It may just not be for me, but you know, I may absolutely love it. There may be a reason why millions of people love it. So I'm going to read it, I'm going to check it out, and I'll report back what I think. Completely lied when I said I've only been sent 1 book. I've been sent 2 books by publishers, but this one's not out until June, so this is going to go right on the end of the pile, so it probably won't get read to the very beginning of June. It's Adrian Tchaikovsky. Again, big Adrian Tchaikovsky fan. Do check out some of my other videos. I think March I did his book called Alien Clay, which I really enjoyed. This is Service Model. Has got a robot servant technology programmed to undertake the most menial household chores. Charles is law, efficient and logical to a fault. That is until a rather large fault causes him to murder his owner. What a premise. Can't wait to read it. Adrian Tchaikovsky writes amazing books, and I'm really looking forward to checking that one out towards the end of the month. So that's all my grown-up books, quite a lot of pages there, probably quite dense. Don't know that I'm going to get all through them. Then I've got the children's ones. This one, The Giver by Lewis Lowry, is sort of young adult, I think, and it's a sort of utopia, dystopia type situation. It's a famous book, and it's had a film made out of it. This is the film cover that I managed to get a copy of, and I hadn't really heard of it. I vaguely heard of it, didn't really know what it was, and it came up twice in quick succession of other things I'm reading. I read a book called Louder Than Hunger last month, and the character in there reads the book and finds some comfort in it, I think, or at least enjoys it. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. And then I read it about somewhere, I can't remember the other place I read it was, but I thought, well, that's really good. It's only slender. I got it cheap, so I'm quite looking forward to checking that out. I haven't read a good young adult dystopia for quite some time. So the books that I've been sent, one of them I've actually already started because I was given it last month, and it's coming out at the beginning of May. I Am Wolf by Alistair Chisholm. I won't say too much more about that. I love Alistair Chisholm books. I'm really looking forward to reading that. It's set in a kind of post-apocalyptic world. Another author I've read before is A.M. Howe, The Mysteries at the Sea, which is a bit like Adventures on Trains, but on a boat. And I really enjoyed that. That was a really good book. The first book, Peril on the Atlantic. So this is set in August 1936, so you've got a pre-war vibe here, which came out in Peril on the Atlantic, and I assume will come out on this. This is called The Royal Jewel Plot. They're just really good fun children's adventure capers. I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to that one. I've also got, this came out at the beginning of the month, is called The Girl Who Couldn't Lie, a fresh funny story about white lies, brutal honesty, and a magical bangle from an award-winning journalist and author. So it kind of felt a bit, it might be a bit like Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. I was going to say Bruce Almighty then, that wouldn't have been right. But, you know, it's about somebody who's basically lying, pretends everything in her life is perfect so she doesn't disappoint anyone. And it has the tagline, will the truth set Priya free or land her in a whole heap of trouble? Looking forward to trying that out. I think it could be entertaining, and I imagine it's probably got quite a nice, strong sort of moral core to it as well. So I'm looking forward to reading The Girl Who Couldn't Lie. And then finally, by Claire Povey, is The Wanderdays, which has got a sort of submarine on the front. Are you brave enough to join the Wanderdays in their first thrilling adventure? Flo and Joseph Wanderday are off on an edge of your seat underwater quest to find their mum, one of the world's greatest explorers, who has gone missing on her last expedition. So it says, to do, expose evil villain Sir Frederick Titan, unravel the clues in the secret study, find out where Titan's Island is, cross the ocean and find mum. So another kids' adventure caper. I mean, these are the lifeblood of children's fiction, these types of books. So I'm really looking forward to sinking my teeth into The Wanderdays by Claire Povey. So they're my April, I keep saying that. They're my May choices. Let me know what you think. You may have read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Do let me know if you've read that and enjoyed it. You may have read Cahokia Jazz. Let me know what you think of that. You probably want to know about the Adrian Tchaikovsky, so I'll try and review that as soon as I can. But like I say, it'll probably be towards the end of the month. But do let me know if you've enjoyed this video. Always feel like they're rushed. Always feel like I'm like, whoa. All over YouTube. But do let me know what you think, what you're reading this month, and I'll see you soon somewhere in the book garden. Bye for now.